Enjoyed what I was doing just then, playing those sorts of very 1960s-ish Kenny Burrell, Grant Green lines, then I can recommend a website I've been working on, producing content for with some other guitarists, called Muse Academy. And I've been creating content for this site, basically focusing, as you might imagine, on jazz guitar. There's quite a few other talented people on there, covering all sorts of music, ranging from bluegrass to blues rock to Chicago blues and many others. Now, this website I think is really, really useful for things like learning feel and learning to sort of play along with a more, presumably more accomplished player, so that you can internalize their time feeling and their phrasing, as well as simply the notes that they play. So what I've done and what I want to talk about today is, if you want to play licks like the sort of blue notey things I was doing in that introduction jam over a sort of 251, so think of the style of people like Kenny Burrell, Grant Green, those kinds of players, then I've developed a very simple beginner's module that basically takes simple resources, so things like the blues scale, triad arpeggios, things like that, and then shows you how to create lines out of those. So if you've enjoyed my videos on jazz guitar cookbook videos, so the one that I did on the chord tones, which will appear above me either on that side or that side, depending on what I feel like. If you enjoyed that video, then this goes a little bit deeper into that kind of stuff. So you'll get a lot of examples, and I've basically done 5 little sub-modules based each around a very common jazz chord progression that you might find in all kinds of standards and blues tunes. So for instance, there's obviously a 2-5-1, there's B-flat 2-5-1, a G minor 2-5-1. There's 2 turnarounds, G minor and B-flats, such as you might find in tunes like rhythm changes and so on. And then there's a 4-1 progression, which is something you'll come across in the blues, as well as loads of standards. And I've done some basic variations of the sorts of things you might find in jazz standards, so that you've got like a toolbox that you can use right away. So I really would encourage you to go out and check Muse out if you haven't. If you're wanting to learn really the sort of stuff that I kind of throw away on the channel, so I might play a line like once and then just say, this is blah 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 and blah blah blah, and people go like, and then I'm too lazy to transcribe it, so you never know what it is. This might be more your sort of thing. It's obviously a subscriber service, so you will need to sign up if you want to get the full features, but I think it's a really good idea, and I like the way it's focusing on something very specific, which I think people would get a lot out of. The aim with my module is really to try and give you simple resources, but show you how you can turn that into jazz material using rhythm. And the rhythm thing, being able to play along with me, I think will help a lot of people who are struggling to get those basics together, or might be a bit intimidated and confused by all of the options available. Anyway, as I say, it's a great site. It's got quite a few good functions. Like there's a really nice function where you can basically slow down clips, and you can focus in on a few notes, and it just loops them around in time with the backing track. You can turn off the tab, so you're just learning the stuff by ear, which is probably the best way to do it if you ask me, but you can also switch on the tab if that's helpful to you as well. You can have it so that it plays it to you, and then you echo it back, so it's like the teacher, in that case that would be me, would play, and then you would play the line, then it would go backwards and forwards, or you could go through all of the clips in a row and do the whole thing. And what I might do in future modules is work up towards having a whole solo over a whole tune, and then you can just break it down into modules and learn each module as you go. And then maybe even you could use it in an improvisational way. So you hear one of my lines and then maybe answer it with a phrase of your own, using the same ideas. So there's quite a few different, even though it's a very simple idea, and I think this is the genius of Mark Gibbon's idea, even though it's very simple, I think there's actually a load you could use it for as a learning tool. And I think as a teacher creating content for this site, I'm just sort of starting to think about the possible ways I could use it. I think I might try and get a bit creative with it in the next few modules I produce. But anyway, I think I'm very proud of the module I've created for it. I think it's a good beginner's guide to sort of learning how to create jazz language and use it yourself. And have a look at that and let me know what you think below.